All right. So, hey everybody. Welcome in. If you are new here, I am Javon Gray, and I help high achieving women escape the matrix of anxiety, right? So those exhausting loops of overthinking, emotional reactivity, and stress-driven burnout. And I do that so that they can finally enjoy the life that they've worked so hard to build. Today, I want to talk about meditation again. We talked about it last week, and it was a pretty popular topic for the folks who have been watching my videos anyway lately. So got a little bit more of a response, but a lot more on the DM side. And so for that reason, I figured we will come back and talk about it again. It's also really nice to be able to do that when tomorrow is the day for the Overthinking Detox program. And so if you are at all interested in that and want to join that particular workshop, I'm definitely going to be getting into the details for how that meditation workshop is going to go. But today, I do want to talk more about meditation, but not in the way that you think, right? So first, let me make sure. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I was actually streaming on Instagram because I know that has been an issue before with me figuring out exactly how to do that. I think I got it. For the folks who are joining live via Instagram, shoot me a shout out. I am not that good right now with keeping track of the chat. So if I have to come back around, I'll reply to you guys with voice notes in your inbox. So be checking for that. And I'll make sure that I get to any comments, questions, or anything like that. So what I came prepared to talk about today is about why, if meditation is not relaxing for you, why that is a positive thing as well. So have you ever sat down to meditate expecting it to give you something, right? Be that to calm you down, to be your escape, to provide some clarity in one area or another, but instead find that your mind just kicks into overdrive. Maybe you try meditation apps, breathing exercises, or guided sessions, but they just leave you feeling more stressed than you were before. Or, maybe you've even thought like meditation is just not for me, right? Like I tried that, been there, done that. It's not for me. And if any of that resonates with you, then this is the perfect session for you, right? You're exactly where you need to be. Because if meditation isn't relaxing for you at this point in your life, that's perfect. And the reason why is because discomfort is the first sign that you're finally breaking free from the anxiety matrix, okay? That's literally the first step. And so break free, those two words in the comments if you're ready to turn that discomfort into clarity. Now, I want to start by breaking down why meditation might feel like it's not working. So when you sit down to meditate, but instead of feeling peace or, when we talk about why it's not working, why anything is not working, we are setting ourselves up from the very beginning for a potential downfall, a potential setback, a potential disgruntlement or frustration, right? So like when you say, I want to get something out of this, this is the point of this, right? This will fix it. Like if I do that, it'll fix it. It'll fix my anxiety. Then you set yourself up, especially when you have an overthinking brain, when you have anxiety in the background going on, and that's something that you're trying to fix, you set yourself up for feeling the opposite. Why? Because not only are you sitting down trying to push your anxious thoughts away, but or like trying to escape from what it is that you feel in the moment, but you're calculating the whole time, right? About whether or not, like, you're constantly assessing whether or not this is improving or not. You start to get more frustrated, right? About whether or not this will meet your expectations. You start to have brain activity related to whether or not you will get what it is that you wanted from this. And the more that you have other thoughts come into your head, the more likely you are to feel like you're failing, and that'll bring up other stuff for you. Okay, so just the statement that meditation isn't working, or that anything in your life isn't working, just that statement, not only does it not fully, it will always set you up for feeling like you've lost something. It's the best way that I know how to explain it. So another reason why, meditation might feel like it's not working is that a lot of people come into meditation feeling like it's supposed to be stopping your thoughts, or that's the point of life, or the point of these practices is to get you to the point where you have just complete silence, right? No thoughts. You have control over your mind. And then, of course, there's the frustration that follows if that doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen immediately. There are some people as well who have been meditating for, months or a prolonged amount of times that haven't found that as well. And then the third, more common reason is that not getting those results when you want them, or as quickly as you thought they might happen. When you don't get them, you feel defeated and just stop trying altogether, right? A lot of people, if they don't pick it up quickly, especially when you're used to picking things up quickly, it's one of those things that's easier to quit, right? But what the real issue probably is, right? So it's probably not the amount of anxious thoughts that flood your brain when you sit down. It's probably not the frustration that your thoughts are still there and they didn't get stopped by this process. Nor is it probably the case that the issue lies in meditation being your thing, right? It is a thing. It is a state that human beings are willing and able, who are willing, are able to access. The real issue is not that meditation is failing, but that most of us receive an incomplete picture of what meditation truly is, right? So here is the hidden cost of misunderstanding meditation. So when you come in with all of these, this is what it's supposed to get me, this is what my therapist said, this is what my friend said she meditates, and this is what she's, these are the results that she got. This is Javon, she talk about meditation all the time, and this is how she is. This is what I'm supposed to get. When you take all of that information, your past experiences with this, and there are so many courses, trainings, so much information out there, so many gurus, people whose trainings that I have talked, so many people whose trainings I've took, and teachings I've listened to from decades and decades ago, right? This practice in general, in a formalized way, especially in a more regimented, routine way where you do, it for a prescribed amount of time, for a certain amount of sittings every day type deal. That recipe, well, there are tons of recipes, but those recipes, a lot of them are ages old, like millennia old, right? And when you don't understand how to do it and you give up quickly. What you wind up doing is missing out on the powerful tools that are really not that hard to grasp, um, but they can help you to break free, um, in terms of like feeling like you're caught up in anxiety, and like you have, you know, zero ability to manage or contain your emotional reactivity. And so, because of that, frustration will build up because you think, it should just work, right? Like, and it doesn't. And then instead of clarity and calm, you experience more stress, more self doubt, and then that internal chaos continues as well. So, the truth, as I believe it, is that your struggles aren't evidence of failure. They're usually signs that you're on the edge of a breakthrough, right? Um, and oftentimes, that little bit of pushback, that little bit of difficulty that we will experience at the beginning of or middle of a journey, is usually what keeps us back from actually getting anywhere, right? From getting the things that we say we want to get from meditation in particular. So there are three different ways um, that you could think about this differently. Um, that I want to cover. That's the main part of, or the main reason why for this live. Three ways that you could shift your thinking potentially in order to help you to be successful in this area. So, why your meditation struggle is actually perfect and what you might be able to do instead. So, the first is to let go of this myth of no thoughts. Okay. So, real meditation, the type that opens you up to true compassion and love, right? The ability to be able to see, right? To see what's real. It's not about silencing your mind, right? That becomes a byproduct. It sounds really good because when you've got a whole lot of mental chatter, you think that the solution is for it to stop, right? And so that is one of those things that we kind of hear a lot in messaging and like advertising and stuff. But you don't need to silence your mind in order to not feel the way that you feel, right? And the way that has you still watching this video a few minutes in, right? It's about instead observing those thoughts, like even whether they happen or not. What the content is irrelevant, right? It's about how the meaning that you apply to them, right? And whether or not you believe that those things are true and what you think they mean about you. So the second is to lean into discomfort. So that feeling of resistance, right? That means that provides you with the feedback that you're becoming aware of deeply rooted anxiety loops. Like when you sit down and because you are actually paying attention to all the thoughts that are going on and feeling like, oh my God, like overwhelmed by them. If you sit down for meditation, let's just say you choose 5 minutes and you sit there and you're meditating and you feel like, oh my God, I feel worse. What's most likely happening is that those same things are going on. Those same processes are going on, but you just gotten really, really good at covering all of that up, dulling yourself out or numbing yourself out to those thoughts in your head, right? So like, let's just say you sit down and you feel like your thoughts are on a 9 out of 10. It's very likely that you're usually around somewhere between 7 to 10 all the time, right? But you just put so many things on your calendar. You are probably overworking. You're probably, eating food, having a whole bunch of self-talk, lay over all of those thoughts and stuff like that. They're there, right? Like these things are going on. They just don't usually have the space to come up into your awareness, right? And so it doesn't matter for how long you meditate. If you have a whole bunch of things coming up in your mind during the meditation, what is most likely going on is that these things are coming up. They either couldn't because there was no room for them to come up before, or they were coming up and you were just doing other things and distracting yourself from it or numbing yourself out to it. Either way, you just sitting even for 5 minutes is going to be way more beneficial to you and your goals than continuing on with however else you were living your life, right? So the doom scrolling, the bakery visits, right? the 2 scoops of ice cream a night, the glass of wine winding down, whatever those activities were that you were doing to like numb yourself out to them, actually tend to just make your mental state worse, right? The third thing is to use proven practical techniques. So there are simple guided tools that are specifically designed to help busy, high-achieving women reset their minds quickly and effectively. And so that's the third thing that you could do is like use those techniques. There are some in my content, many of which, the bulk of which, right? That is actually what I specialize in making, are going to be covered in the workshop tomorrow. So you want to be there for that. So just as a quick recap, because I got really wordy in the middle there, why your meditation struggle is actually perfect and what to do instead. So letting go of that myth that you shouldn't be having any thoughts, leaning into the discomfort instead of leaning into the discomfort instead of running away, giving up, deciding it's not for you. And then the third is to use proven and practical techniques that are simple and designed for your lifestyle. So just to close, before we close out, I do want to give you more details about what I have planned for you tomorrow. So Tuesday, February 25th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be opening up with this workshop that, again, is your chance to finally escape the anxiety matrix. If meditation hasn't been feeling relaxing, then that is good news, right? That's good. It means that you still got work to do. And that hopefully you're ready to do it differently. Tomorrow, like I said, I'm hosting the Overthinking Detox. Meditation Made Simple is the name for this workshop. Is specifically designed to help you break out of anxiety loops and stop emotional reactivity so that you can regain a sense of control in just 75 minutes. You will master, right? This is a workshop. You'll be mastering, 5-minute meditation techniques to reset your mind. You'll be replacing the endless overthinking with clear and confident decision making, and then learning how to maintain your calm, even and especially under pressure. So this is your invitation from me, Javon the Midwife, to join tomorrow, February 25th. I just want to close out with this thought that meditation isn't meant to silence your thoughts. It's meant to free you from believing every anxious thought that crosses your mind. That was one of those realizations that really renewed my faith in having anything to reliably help me that I could do myself, that I didn't need to rely on someone else to constantly be there to do for me. Because I knew that my particular healing journey was going to be one that took a while, right? I had a whole lot of stuff happen, and I knew that it was going to be a long journey, and I wanted to be my main fallback. I knew I was going to have to do a lot of work, regardless of if I had really good support. And figuring out how I could use this particular tool and others, but this particular practice um, to help steady my emotional journey was like legit life altering, if not life saving. And so that is my invitation to you, for you to join me, pick up some of these skills and practices and use them to improve your overall well-being. And so I'm going to leave y'all with that. I will see y'all next week. Next week, the plan is for me to join you at our scheduled 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we could do that. But today I had to come in a little early for some of my clients. So